In this video, I'll be demonstrating cabling without a cable needle. Cabling without a cable needle is a great skill to have in your toolbox. It can make working certain types of cables go a little bit faster and smoother. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing. So let's get right to the knitting and I'll show you how to cable without a cable needle. Cables travel either right or left, and the symbols and descriptions used for these cables can differ a little bit. There's not really an industry standard per se, but there's some common notations used for cables, and I'll put a couple of those here on the screen. There's, 2/2 right cross, 2/2 left cross, or it could be 2 front, 2 back. So the notation is typically describing either what you are doing with the stitches on your needle or what the stitches end up looking like on the right side of the fabric after the cable has been completed. Cabling without a cable needle tends to work best for small cables. So 1/1 cables, 2/2 cables. When you get to more stitches than that, it can be a little unwieldy, especially if you're using very slippery yarns. So you want to keep that in mind. A 1/1 cable uses 2 stitches total. One travels over the other, and so either it is a 1/1 right cross or a 1/1 left cross. When using a cable needle, and standard industry notation is to describe the cable using a cable needle. For a 1/1 right cross, the leftmost stitch is traveling to the right over the first stitch, so the first stitch gets slipped to a cable needle and held to the back. And then you knit this stitch, and then you knit the stitch from the cable needle. When we are cabling without a cable needle, instead we need to think about what direction the stitches are moving and use our needle tip to manipulate them and rearrange the stitches before working them. So a 1/1 right cross, this stitch travels over this stitch. So in the front, I take my right hand needle tip and grab the second stitch, and then I drop the first stitch and from behind pick it up and then place that stitch back on the left needle. So I have created the cable before actually working the stitches. It's a 1/1 right cross. The leftmost stitch has traveled over the other stitch, and now I can knit those in that reversed order. Then a 1/1 left cross, the right hand stitch travels to the left over the second stitch. If we're describing it with using a cable needle, the first stitch gets slipped to a cable needle and held to the front, and then you knit this stitch and then the stitch off the cable needle. When cabling without a cable needle, then we need to arrange the stitches so that this stitch travels over to the left and over the second stitch. So using the right hand needle tip, from behind, I grab that second stitch and stabilize it basically, and then I'm removing my left hand needle from both stitches and then picking back up that first stitch, making sure it's not twisted. And then I slip that stitch back to the left hand needle. I have cabled before working the stitches, reversing the order of these stitches. So now I can knit that one, and I have produced a 1/1 left cable. The 2/2 cables are worked similarly then. If I want to do a 2/2 right cross, that involves 4 stitches, 2 traveling over 2. The left hand 2 travel to the right over the right hand 2. If described using a cable needle, the first two are slipped to a cable needle and held to the back. So when working without a cable needle, we instead bring our right hand needle tip to the front and grab those second two stitches. I like to pinch everything to try to minimize any stitches running away. So I'm pinching with my fingers to stabilize the knitting so that I can remove the left hand needle from all 4 stitches and then quickly pick those first 2 back up without twisting them and then slip those first 2 back. Again, I've cabled those stitches before working them. Now it's simply knitting them in order. And I've worked a 2/2 right cross. Now a 2/2 left cross, if described using a cable needle. So the rightmost 2 stitches travel to the left over the second 2 stitches. When using a cable needle, the stitches, the first 2 stitches are slipped to a cable needle and held to the front. This means these second 2 stitches travel behind the first 2. So when cabling without a cable needle, I use the right hand needle tip to go behind and grab the second 2 stitches to stabilize them. I'm pinching all of that knitting so that I can remove my left hand needle tip and then reinsert it into those first 2. And then I slip these 2 on the right hand needle tip back to the left hand needle tip. I've cabled now before working them. Now I simply knit them in the order presented. And that is a 2/2 left cross, cabling without a cable needle. Hopefully that demonstration was a helpful one. Have you used this technique before? Let me know in the comments below. Do you find it difficult or easy? Does it speed up your cable knitting, or do you find yourself still grabbing for your cable needle? Let me know. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.